But even if that were true, let's be logical. I'm not at work. If I were at work, I'm not allowed to use my phone while at my desk. I need to hold a corner. And it's no wine. 3, 2, 1. Cheers! Tomorrow is the last day of customer service week, and we are ending it and rounding it off with cutting of cake and a love feast. We were supposed to have done our love feast earlier in the week, but we just decided it was going to be nicer if we rounded off the week with the love feast. And what we are required to do is to bring food enough for you and someone else. So I'm going to bless my branch people with some of my culinary skills. I don't like cooking, you guys, but I think what I hate the most is not knowing what to eat, or if what I'm going to buy is going to be as good as what I'd have cooked if it were me, or if it would satisfy me. And more often than not, whenever I eat food that is cooked out, I'm not satisfied. I don't know if there's something there. I don't feel as satisfied as I'd feel if I ate my own food. So I'm cooking. I've wanted to make coconut rice for the longest time, but this is my opportunity. So I was thinking of something unique that maybe someone else wouldn't make, because a lot of people are bringing small chops, drinks, fruits, and all of that, and stuff for tea. I don't even like tea. I don't even like bread. But I wanted to make something that I would be able to share with someone else, something that will probably fill them up, and I'll probably make with extra packs for myself for the next few days, because apart from the fact that the week is officially ending on Friday, I'm still working Saturday and Sunday. Yes, this is one of the weekends. So I'm making coconut rice. Now, a little backstory is I actually ran a marathon when I came home. I got back from work and I had errands to run, personal errands. So I had to meet a deadline. There's a vendor I wanted to meet and she closes at 4:30, but she said she would wait for me because I told her I'll be back around 4:35-ish. So she said, she would stay a little bit late so that I could meet her. So I got there, picked up my package, and went over to pick up the cake that we are cutting tomorrow at work. And then I also had to buy food stuff for the food I'm cooking, because I just knew that it was late, and if I wanted to come back home, drop everything and go back out, I might go and see that the person selling meat has closed, the person selling vegetables has closed, and it's not every market where they sell already chopped vegetables. So when I just saw them on the road, I was like, I have to buy them. I got them, and then I realized that my gas was almost finished, and I've been wanting to refill for days now, but I never got the chance. So today when I got back home, on my way home, the gas plant where I usually buy gas was open. It was a few minutes to 6. Immediately I got home, the bike that brought me, I was like, please just wait for me, let me just drop these things, you take me back to the roadside so that I can go and get gas. My people took this bike, as I didn't even waste time. I carried my cylinder, wiped it clean, and went out with him. We got to the gas plant and it closed 5-7 minutes before I got there. Apparently they closed at 6. I was like, please, is there any way? They were like, nope, sorry, we're closed, keep it pushing. So one of the staff inside was kind enough, he came to the gate and told me, rush over forward, we have another branch there, they might still be serving. I think that a lot of things were working for my favor, and people's kindness, I don't take that for granted, because this bike man was not even complaining. All I wanted him to do was to drop me by the roadside, let me find my way. I should be able to get keke and keep on moving. But this guy took me to the first gas plant. When they said no, it's not available, he rushed me to the second one. We got there, the gate was locked again. But this gas plant had those kind of 2-door gates, and one of them was slightly open. And when I peeped, I saw that there was someone who was standing at the pay point. So I thought that was a customer trying to pay, and I was like, okay, that means there's one more person. I looked, there was no security guard or anybody to open the gate. Put my hand inside and opened the gate and entered. When I entered, I rushed to the pay point. I was like, can I still get gas? They were like, how much room do you want? I was like, thank you, God. I said I wanted about, was it 4 kgs or so? They now told me the price. So they printed the receipt, and apparently they were going to serve me. So I rushed to the place where, after I got my sleep now, I rushed to the place where I was going to buy the gas. And the guys were like, you're the one that opened our gate, Abby. I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't even know you guys were closed, to be honest. I saw someone and the gate was slightly open. Make una no face, make una help me. I won't even have the time to come and buy it tomorrow morning. And how am I supposed to survive without the gas? All this food stuff I bought, the raw meat, the raw vegetables. I beg, make una help me. They now helped me. They refilled my gas. The bike man waited for me, picked me and brought me back to my house. And when he brought me back, this guy was charging me only 500 naira. I know a lot of, like, I calculated, and even if he charged me for every trip without the waiting time and all it should have been more. He should have charged me at least 600, 750 or something. This guy said 500. I was just giving him anything. I was like, God. I gave him above what he asked anyway, but I was like, it's hard to find honest people. It's really everyone is looking for an opportunity to extort somebody else. Like, it's insane. Everybody would take advantage. Let me not say everybody, but a lot of people will take advantage of someone's kindness, their honesty, or their desperate situation. And I was quite desperate today. And this guy did not even flinch. He was just smiling. I was like, God, I hope I meet people like you every day. I was just really grateful. And this kind of brings me to the customer service week we are celebrating. I really wanted to come and tell you guys that there are so many things about being a customer service officer that many people don't see. People walk into an office and basically bare minimum is that the staff is professional to you, that they are honest with you in the kindest manner, in a way that doesn't make you feel belittled, insulted, and in a way that makes you feel appreciated. But not everybody does that. Do you get? So when you meet a customer service officer that is willing to go the extra mile, especially since you do the same thing yourself, you would appreciate that too. There's an extent of professionalism that is expected from a customer service officer. There are things that you should never even voice out. But then there are people who cross that line. And I really, really appreciate it when the best service is given regardless. And there are a few things that, customer service officers swallow that a lot of people have no idea about. I mean, we stay longer hours most of the time. We also answer requests, queries, and we help people outside of the workplace. Like, for instance, if someone knows I work in a certain bank, they have a problem with the bank and it is a Saturday. I mean, people have called me by 9 p.m. Someone has woken me up from sleep, called me on a Saturday, 6 a.m. Madam, I sent money just now and the money did not go through. But even if that were true, let's be logical. I'm not at work. If I were at work, I'm not allowed to use my phone while at my desk. But I'm not at work. It's a weekend. How am I supposed to even solve your problem? I know that people just think there's something that can be done. But these are stuff that work with systems, computers, and you have to be at work. And so you calling me on Saturday is taking my personal family time, which I already spend so much more of it serving customers. So that little time that we have with family, we share it with customers more often times than we would like to do. So that's one of the things I would appreciate every CSO for doing. Even though it costs you a lot, you still do it. So thank you. Another thing is, you might not believe it, but we're actually quite benevolent. A lot of people think that customers are the ones who are benevolent to us. Like, a customer would say, oh, thank you so much. Here's a gift. We don't experience that a lot. But a lot of the things that we do is customers come and sometimes they're not prepared. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. A customer could come to get something from the bank, and then they would find out that something is required of them, like their utility bill, for example, like they need to correct their name or date of birth, like they need a new passport photograph or their ID card. And the customer will say, oh, I forgot my ID card somewhere. And then, or they would say, I don't have money to get an affidavit. I spent all my money coming here. I don't even have money to go home. I wanted to come here and withdraw so I can go home. Or they will tell you, something that is just sad. And then, to be honest with you, nobody told us to do this, but I can speak for myself personally. Whenever this thing happens, I don't even have the time to start telling you, come back tomorrow. Even if it were me, I wouldn't want to come back tomorrow. So sometimes, but I would carry my transport and give that person, pay your transport and go and bring the affidavit, or go and snap passport and then figure myself out later. I've had cases where I would give someone money, go and snap passport, they will go and they will not come back again. They won't come back because maybe the money meant more to them than whatever they came to do in the bank. So we can be benevolent, believe it or not. One thing I'd say is nobody likes it when it is time for them to clock out of work. Someone else comes in to be served. Nobody likes that. And that brings me to what happened to me today. Maybe the staff had such a long day and they were just waiting for the clock to strike 6. And here I was 7 minutes after 6 begging them to open their doors again. You might think, I'm just going to come in now. Let me just pay you for gas. But there's a cashier that collects money. There's someone that fills gas. Maybe she has already balanced her books. So she will now scatter it back because I need gas. Do you get? It's really not her problem. So if she had opened up those doors to help me, it would have been such a huge deal and I wouldn't have taken it for granted. A lot of us do, especially when we go to the banks or hospitals and then someone gives you a little bit of their own time and you think they're just doing their job. They're really not. They have clocked out, So whenever someone comes in, 100% of the time, we serve them, especially in the bank. We serve, but it's not always the best or most pleasant feeling because you could have left and gone back to your family or to your life. I mean, we have to balance our lives with work, right? But whenever someone comes in, that extra mile, we take it and we give you our time. Apart from the nights when you call us, apart from the extra time you unofficially expect us to give you. In fact, there was someone that came in and said she was a customer and another customer needed someone to help him fill his form. And he was like, there's nobody to fill my form for me, so he just sat there. And we were waiting for him to fill his form so we could attend to him, and he just sat there. And so the woman was now raising her voice and I was like, I should go and look for the security to come and fill his form. And we were just like, Ma, you could actually help him if you can. She was not like, it's not her job. And I'm here like, neither is it the security's job. I mean, he's a security. He guards the door, directs people, and watches the space that is under his jurisdiction. So filling forms is really not part of his job. He just does it as a favor because not everybody is learned enough. And even if you're learned, maybe there are some things that you probably don't know how to fill, or there's a mistake you might make because the information is not as we like it or as we would prefer. So sometimes, I can't even tell you how many times we help customers fill their forms too. I remember there was a time I took leave. The first week of that leave, my hand was trembling for a week because it wasn't used to staying without writing. A week. Talk about PTSD. So trust me, that little bit of time that the banker takes to help you fill your forms is a little extra. So let's learn to appreciate our CSOs.
So I have a coconut rice recipe on my channel, but this one is meant to show you that you can cook this with or without a non-stick pan. just use what you have. Here I'm just trying to marinate my meat and spice it up with seasoning cubes, salt, and soy sauce. And this is the coconut milk I'm using. I also got some chopped vegetables, and I was like, I'm not about to chop these vegetables myself, so I bought them. And I added soy sauce to the meat, mixed it up, made sure that every single part of this meat was coated. I like to wear gloves or like a leather in my hand, because you can go and touch all these spices, you know, wash your hands properly, and then you touch your face, you'd have acne, you probably have pepper in your eyes and all. So I like to avoid that. I'm also going to be using some coconuts. I'm going to grate them, and here we go. You can just fry your onions, add your meat into the pot, and all you have to do is make sure you are cooking on low heat. Even if you're using a non-stick pan, cook on low heat, because you don't want to destroy your pan. No, make sure that your food is undercooked, because everything is going too fast. So what you want to do is to cook on low heat, and make sure to always come and check on it. If it's a non-stick pan, you can forget it and for a while and it will not burn. But for this kind of pot, that's not the case. So you need to put an eye on what you're cooking. So when I pan fry this for a little bit, with no water whatsoever, I'm just going to use this little bit of liquid that came from the marinade and pour inside. Now I'm just going to let this cook on very, very low heat for at least 5 to 10 minutes. When it cooks itself, you're going to see that juice is going to come out from the meat. I did not add water, but you're just going to see it. There's juice, there's water inside the meat, so you can see that this is the juice that came out from the meat, and it has been cooking itself. So when it has kind of gone down, like reabsorbed back into the meat, I'm now going to add actual water. But first, I'm going to chop my pepper. And again, if you do not have a blender, electric blender, you can use a manual grater like I'm doing here. And if you don't have a manual grater, you can use your mortar and pestle. Anything you have that you can use to crush your vegetables, please use. You could use a grinding stone if you want. And here you can see that our meat has soaked up the water back, and now we're going to add actual water and then add the pepper.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed coming to my TED Talk. I hope you appreciate anybody that shows you a little bit of kindness anytime. And I hope you can show other people kindness too and not just expect it. I'm going to try to go to bed now. I'm so exhausted that I don't even have the energy to finish cooking. And I want the food to be fresh, so I'm just boiling the meat. Tomorrow morning, by the grace of God, when I wake up, I'm going to work on the actual food. There's going to be a lot of work. I have to wake up way earlier than I wake up, maybe after 4 or so I can have the food ready. And then, yeah, let's just go to bed. See you tomorrow by God's grace. Let's say the prayer like the way they say it in The Chosen. Blessed are you, Lord God, who brings slumber to my eyes.
Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Makes me to lie down green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yeah, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me. Thou preparest the table before my enemies, and thou anoint my head with oil, my cup overflow. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives, and we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Hi guys, very tired. It's 5 a.m. but we're ready to go. We are making about 3.5 cups of rice, and we're also going to grate our coconuts so that we can sprinkle them on top of our rice when we're done cooking it. You have to be very careful with this part as well. I know some people have, different kinds of graters, but this one is really small and handy, which I love. Now, this is my coconut all grated and chopped up and ready to be topped into my food. And these are my veggies all washed with salt, making sure that I strain it properly. And look at that. Imagine if I bought actual vegetables. Where is the time? There's no time. Anyway, our milk is ready as well. I've never used this brand of milk before, but I'm hoping that everything turns out well. If you have an actual blender and you have actual coconuts, you can chop those up, put into the blender, add water and blend and strain, and you get the most perfect, sweet, rich coconut milk. I've tasted both, like using this kind of milk and using the real coconut like milk that you made, and that one is 100 times better. Anyway, we're adding hot water into our rice, and we're going to let it sit for like a few minutes while we wash it as well. You want to make sure that you wash your rice until the water runs clear. You're going to see that I changed the water a couple of times until it's clear. Now we are adding some oil and frying our meat. Again, you can use a regular pot for this. I'm just using this non-stick pan because it was available and I've run out of all my pots. Or everything has something inside. So yeah. Now we're going to let our rice strain for a bit while we go ahead and fry our veggies with our meat. Mind you, there's not a lot of oil in this, which is why I like cooking fried rice, because it doesn't require that much oil. And while that is cooking, I'm going to peel my seasoning cubes. I'm using Knorr Maggi and Star Maggi as well. I don't know why we call them Maggi, but anyway, Knorr and Star seasoning cubes. Now for the actual rice, we are using this gigantic pot and some butter and some oil as well. Next, we'll add onions to the mix, and I also learned this from Omoye Cooks to add some thyme to the oil and onions, and this flavor is insanely amazing. Like, the whole of my house was scenting so nice. And now we're adding our washed rice so that it can be toasted. Now you would think, oh, if I'm using a regular aluminium pot, it's going to burn. No, just make sure you are there cooking on low heat and stirring. What you want to do is to make sure that every piece of rice is coated in oil and butter, and this is everything I have to put into my meal. And then while the rice toasts on low heat, it's just going to kind of absorb into the rice the butter, and you can add your spices. Here I'm adding a fried rice spice, and then my seasoning cubes, some salt, the milk. This is like usually my best part, adding the milk. I added the whole can, the entire can. I'd never remain small. So afterwards, I'm just going to stir before I go on in to add my meat stock. You can see that the rice has not stuck to the bottom, and I changed my spoon to a spatula. Then now I'm adding meat stock, and no, I did not sieve it. I don't have the time, and I love all my things that I added into the meat, so let's enjoy it. This is how it looks after you've mixed the milk and the meat stock. I added a bit of water and soy sauce, and then I covered it to cook for a little bit. About 10-20 minutes later, I think, let's say 15-20 minutes, it looked like this. And obviously it's not totally cooked, so I stirred it, and then I used foil to trap the moisture, cover it back and let it cook for another 10 minutes, and this time around on higher heat. And at this point I had had my bath, ready to go to work, but food never done. And it was raining that day. Almost it was a marathon though. But anyway, I added my cute little protein and vegetables, and it was looking divine. Then I topped it up with my coconut. And sometimes when you're eating coconut rice, some people make it so that you don't even taste any coconut. I like it to taste like you are eating coconut rice. So let's serve.
Alex Apps. Take a look inside your heart. Is there any room for me? I would have to hold my breath till you get down on one knee. Because you really want to hold me when I'm looking good enough. Did you ever hold me? Did you ever picture us? Every time I pull my hair, I see out of fear. You find me ugly and one day you'll disappear. Cause the point of crying, it was never even enough. Did you ever want me? Was I ever good enough?
I have started.
Happy customer service week!
Some people should stand up. They should not sit on seat and be rolling their head. They should stand on their feet and dance.
I'm enjoying myself.
I can see that. I can see that.
Happy customer service week. Thank you. Thank you.